Hello everybody. So we've gotten a lot of questions on the stream about basically how we set up OBS Studios to stream, and kind of like the general settings and how to do it. So this will be kind of like the first video of some real basic Streamlabs OBS tutorials, and if get a good reaction, people want to see more, we'll definitely go deeper into it. But so for the basics, once you get Streamlabs OBS, you get it updated and everything. If you when you want to connect it to your YouTube, you go down to the bottom left of the settings, and then you go to your stream, and then you're gonna want to like log it and connect it to your YouTube account. So that's how it's gonna stream through there. And then if we make the next video, I'll show you how you can use Streamlabs OBS in the background and then go through like YouTube Studios, which is kind of like really how we like to do it, but just kind of just basic OBS setup. So like a lot of this, I don't really mess with it too much. It's kind of like a little bit deeper than I want to get into, but so basically like you're gonna have a lot more stuff in like this region right here of like settings, and it can get a little bit overwhelming. But so for me, I noticed when we had like a bunch of different stuff for our different setups, I started to get a little bit of latency and lag, so I pretty much deleted everything. But if like you wanted to create like a new scene, because like you're like, hey, I want to stream, but if I want to go to the bathroom, I want to put up like, a be right back banner, that up, and then go through there and like edit it. But it's all gonna look like this. So this is how we do like our live stream, right? And then so from your sources, everything stacks. It's all layers. So like for us. And I just put this in the background because I didn't want it, but I'll like move it up. As you can see, the higher up it is in the sources is like the higher priority and precedence it takes over everything else. So, for example, like you definitely want to have like your alert box, right? Is gonna, if people make a donation or super chat, and like that's really easy to configure. You just, click the add a new source. Hit the alert box, like all right, so I want a new one, and then you just you basically set up like your colors, and I mean for the most part you can kind of keep all the generic settings, and then if you got something in there you don't want, like I don't need another alert box, I just click delete. But like for us, as you see, I have the camera, everybody sees me on the stream, so like me and Raiden are sitting in there, and so we have a green screen going, which is like I think really important. It really made our stream a lot better. So you click that, obviously, add a video capture device. Say you want to add a new one. This is just kind of to demonstrate, like, okay, here's my webcam. This is what I want. I keep all the defaults because that generally works the best. But like, so you got it, but like you're not like super happy with how it looks. You're like, hey, how do I get my green screen to work? So you just right click on that and you go down to filters. So as you see, like I've cropped it out a little bit. Like I don't want all my stuff in the background, and like you can mess with that. You're like, all right, I want like a little bit more cropping. So you like, all right, 450. All right, that looks a little bit better. And that, but like a lot of people like the Chrome key. So you're gonna add, like click the plus and you add the Chrome key. This is how like you do the green screen. So like I say blue, it's not gonna work, but like all right, here you can see I have like basically a very cheap green screen in the back. So I just select green, and then you can adjust the similarity and like the smoothness. So you like really gotta like, the opacity is like how transparent it's gonna make things behind you. And so you play with that, like you get it good, because what you can see here now, like my head and stuff's in there, but the green screen isn't, so I can sit here and talk. So that's kind of basically how you filter that. And then, like, I don't think you really need like a high-end camera. I just have a Logitech web stream camera hooked up through the USB, and that's all like plug and play. It should notice it right away. And then let me slide this into frame. I just have like a nice like blue Yeti for our audio capture, and like so you see it says 2. It's because I put a couple of filters on that as well. So I think like noise suppression and noise gate are kind of important. So like, say you don't want if something slams in the background, like you don't want it to like blow everybody's eardrums out. So you put that up, and you can tweak that. But like noise suppression's great. So like in a lot of our earlier streams, you can kind of hear like crackling or stuff in the background, and it just really cleans up the audio. And then normally you'll see a couple of screens. So like hey, I want to capture a screen. So you can use a dual screen. Right now I'm not because I'm doing the tutorial, but I would put on the left screen, I would have another monitor where this would be sitting, and on this screen would be captured in the background the game. So you just like, all right, cool, which display do I want to capture? And then you got the generic resizing here, but like other handy things is you go to transform and you like, hey, stretch it to the screen and it'll like fill it out 100%, or fit to screen, it'll try to keep the like same aspect ratio. So it's really up to you. I don't lose a lot of quality with what I'm doing to just fit it to screen. And then so this other video capture device is kind of like, so it's a mirror box capture card. So this is how I have like my screen, and then my son's screen down here in the corner is I bought like a generic the HD video capture card, right? And it just pumps from his HDMI on his laptop into the capture card, and then goes to USB off of a hub I have going into my laptop. So it's pretty generic. And then obviously event list is going to be things like donations and stuff. I really like them because it really like people who like come out and donate and stuff. It's really cool for them to see it. Like, oh cool, like they appreciate it, they show it. And then like the background, you can basically just go and put whatever you want. So like everybody who watches our stream knows like it doesn't fit perfectly. So I have like kind of like a generic background. So when it doesn't fit just right, you can kind of see what's still going. It doesn't look bad, like just a jet black background. And so that's like the real basics of like how we set up OBS. And I'd say like don't be afraid to like mess with it. And if you're like, oh hey, I really like this generic one, but I want to like get deeper, just right click and just duplicate it. So like live stream one, so like you can see I'm clicking between them and nothing's changing. So you can be like, hey, what happens if I like delete all this? Like, okay, well, this is what happens. This is like the ramifications. And then, so you see like I have a lot of different audio inputs. So like desktop audio is going to be like the video game. So I'm like, well, I really want, or my background music, I'm like, I want that to be really quiet. So you'd move that down or you'd move it up. And audio input capture 2, like I showed, is the Blue Yeti. So like you're looking like, oh wow, it's in the red, but like what's that really equate to? Like just hit this the record button in the bottom, and just like record like a 10-second video of you talking, and just like see what it is, see what it sounds like, and be like, all right, my game music's kind of loud, so I want it to be a little bit louder. Or wow, I talk really loud, I didn't mean to. Let me crank that down a little bit. And then like event list, or I think like alert box, I keep that up. Like when somebody comes on and donates, like for me, I want them to see it and I want them to hear it and like people to know, because it's like, oh wow, hey, that's really cool, you're supporting the channel. Or hey, look, somebody subscribed, that's cool, like we appreciate your support, we see that. Some things I would avoid that I've tried, I put in here is like I would avoid text to speech. That's kind of ended in tragedy every time I've tried it. I got it to work, but people see that and it like encourages shenanigans is like the best way to describe it. And it kind of brings out the worst in people. So I like try to filter that. And then there's some other like deeper features in here. Let me see if that you can really like go into it, like the points, for example, and stuff. And if people want me to go through that, I can. But like I said, this is just basic. Like this is how you'd set it up in the most basic of fashions. And yeah, so if you have any questions, put it in there. I'll try to answer all the comments. You cut it off the bottom a little bit, but you're basically like there's a record button and a go live. And then like later, when I go deeper into like the goal. See, and this is the more stuff you get in here too. You could be like, oh my gosh, like what am I clicking? You know, where's it going? So you just gotta play around with it, get comfortable. And I lost it, so I look bad. But yeah, just work with it. Don't be afraid. Just duplicate it. There we go. See, I'm like, all right, just fit the screen. So there we go. And then like I said, I'll go deeper into it. Like, you know, for us, like if I click the go live button, you see like here's all my options. But like under events, like if I had an event scheduled through YouTube, would be down here. And like if you want to see it, I'll show it later. But thanks for sitting through all that and listening to me. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.